first day of 2026, and for many people, that means, of course, setting resolutions. First Day Hikes is a national program and a long-standing tradition in Arkansas. 5 News reporter Claire Everbach visited Hobbs State Park today to talk to some people starting off the new year on the right foot.
Hundreds of people in Northwest Arkansas chose to start 2026 on the trail.
Maybe you've made a resolution to become more physically active, and what better way to do that than to hike in our Arkansas state parks?
First Day Hikes is a national program and a long-standing tradition in Arkansas. Park interpreter Chris Pistol says the event is meant to spark healthy habits that extend beyond the first day of the year, asking hikers to make a commitment to staying active.
If they can do one day a month of getting out and hiking on an outdoor trail, that would be a great goal to have for the new year.
Park leaders say more than 200 people showed up. Chris Sweeney came to the event for the second year in a row.
The first day of the year is about rebirth and regeneration, and this is a good way to get out, just kind of set the tone for the new year.
And if the hiking isn't enough to draw you in, they also provide s'mores for a post-hike treat.
They have the s'mores here, so we wanted to let the kids get out, enjoy the s'mores, get their sugar highs first before we do the hike, and then go out on the hike and let them burn out their energy.
Sweeney says the day is also about spending quality time together.
The bonding, the family time, just that kinship with friends, and just enjoying the outdoors. It's a lovely day and a great way to spend an hour.
Pistol says it's all about the smiles and the memories they take with them into the year ahead.
Just the overall joy and enthusiasm people have for starting the new year, and it's also great to hear the stories that people share about favorite memories in state parks and what the first day hikes mean to them.
Covering news where you live, Claire Everbach, 5 News.
Let's take a look at some of the most impactful laws that are now in effect statewide as of today. Act 708 tightens unemployment rules, requiring people receiving benefits to report at least 5 work search contacts each week. Act 875 increases the disability onset age by 20 years. This means if a disability occurred before 46 years old, they can be eligible for tax advantages savings accounts. Act 631 allows SNAP recipients to meet work requirements by volunteering at any public entity that receives state funding. Probably the biggest one you'll see is at the grocery store. Act 1008 removes the state grocery tax. You can see all those laws now in effect on our website, 5newsonline.com. Meanwhile, Affordable Care Act subsidies have expired, and millions of Americans are getting ready to see higher health costs because of it. This won't impact folks who don't get health insurance from any employer or qualify for Medicare or Medicaid. CBS News says 20 million ACA subsidies enrollees will see their insurance premiums skyrocket by 114%. A vote is expected in the House this month to potentially extend the subsidies that help reduce costs. Republican lawmakers here in Arkansas say they'll be closely watching what Congress decides, but say more needs to be done to address the overall costs of our healthcare system. Developing today, a Boonville man is facing rape charges after DNA evidence leads his arrest to 13 years after the alleged incident. Nathan Slavey is set to appear in front of a Logan County judge tomorrow. According to court documents, the state crime lab notified the Boonville Police Department a DNA sample obtained during a 2012 rape investigation matched the DNA of Slavey. Court documents also say Slavey was identified in a photo lineup back in October. He was interviewed by police after where he denied the allegations. Meanwhile, in the state capitol, a woman is behind bars after what police are calling a homicide at her in-home daycare. Police arrested 23-year-old Erin Sauls after responders tried to help an 8-month-old boy who had stopped breathing. The arrest report says Sauls admitted to injuring their child during a diaper change. Other parents say they're now questioning the care their child received prior to stopping their kids from attending the daycare.
I can't understand what them people are going through. I've talked to the father this morning a couple of times. I've talked to most of the other parents, and all of them said that their kids had something going on with them, bruises and scratches or sicknesses.
Really?
This lady was evil.
Those parents say no health care professionals made any connections to the daycare after treating their child, but they do plan to speak with detectives now. Sauls has pleaded not guilty to capital murder charge and is being held without bond. Arkansas State Police say an investigation is ongoing after a man was fatally struck by a vehicle on New Year's Eve in Fayetteville. Officers responded to a report of a vehicle-pedestrian collision near North Gregg Avenue and Quality Lane around 6:30 last night. Police say Adam Henson Maxwell had walked in front of the vehicle while crossing the road. It comes after State Police also said another person died on Sunday in Hinesville after being struck by a vehicle. It happened near Highway 412 and the James Acres Road. The crash report says 57-year-old David Thomas of Hinesville died after walking into the roadway. Meanwhile, the Greenland community is still healing after a school district basketball coach and two 16-year-old students were injured in a head-on crash. A 23-year-old man also died in that crash after police say he crossed into oncoming traffic and collided with another vehicle that was driven by Jeremy Shopper, and the three were driving back from a Mansfield basketball tournament. The school district says tomorrow there'll be a community gathering at the high school gym. Donations will be accepted to support Shopper's family. There's a new development in the ongoing legal dispute between the state of Oklahoma and the poultry industry. Tyson Foods and other companies have filed a notice to appeal this month's ruling in a federal court. A judge in Tulsa ruled this month Tyson and other poultry companies knew their growers used fertilizer that was polluting water in the Illinois River watershed. The order forces poultry companies to pay penalties to the state of Oklahoma and pay for a team to oversee the cleanup of the watershed. It also limits the amount of fertilizer a poultry grower can put down on their land. Farm organizations have expressed concerns with that ruling after reports that Tyson would limit business with regional poultry growers. Back in the state capitol, community members in Little Rock are calling for more change and more peace in 2026. The annual Say McIntosh Stop the Violence prayer vigil took place this morning. Dorothea McIntosh and leaders of the Pulaski County OK program took up the crosses in the ground that represent the lives lost in 2025 by homicide and released balloons in their memory. The group then prayed for peace and an end to the violence as we start the new year.
If you are my neighbor and I'm concerned about you, then that festers into the next person and the next person in that community, and all together we can come up with some power to stop some of this violence if we work collectively together.
According to the latest data from the State Department of Public Safety, the city had the most homicides in 2024. But Little Rock Mayor Frank Scott had recently said homicide rates in the state capitol have decreased by 47% in the last 5 years.